live from the Dunkin Latte Lounge.
All right, what up, everyone? It is Garrett from Elvis Duran in the Z100 Morning Show. I welcome you with doors wide open to the Dunkin Latte Lounge. I love Dunkin Latte Lounges because, like, it's like getting you an insider information about, people that you should get on your radar right now. Like, by the time you watch this, if you're not following this next guy, I don't know what's wrong with you. We welcome in DMac Burns from New York. Welcome to the Dunkin Latte Lounge, sir.
What's up, Garrett? Thanks for having me, man.
No problem. Being from New York, I mean, many of things. Z100, Dunkin.
Yeah.
I mean, what more could we add to this? Maybe a Grammy down the road. But I mean, growing up in New York, did you listen to Z100? I know it's a redundant question, but I have to ask.
Of course, man. I mean, I feel like everybody did. I used to have my alarm set to it in middle school, so like I'd wake up in the morning to Z100.
And of course Dunkin too. Growing up in the area, I mean, I'm just every other corner was a Dunkin. So I mean, I'm sure you have your in a minute, but
Sure.
let's start from the beginning for you. I mean, the best way I can describe your music, as I've told you before, is a melting pot. Just like being from New York is known to be a melting pot of just people, cultures, everything and anything, food. Not to say your music is like food, but
That's all right.
that's the best way I can describe your music. But for you, where did it all begin? Where did music begin for you?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it began just walking around the streets, just hearing different music bumping out of people's cars and stuff in the 90s when I was growing up. And just taking that in and trying to maybe like filter that through my mind through the creative process into something that made sense, because there's so much that you take in, like you said, just being around the city like that.
So growing up in the city too, because like it's funny,
Yeah.
like when you talk to people from New York, it's like, oh, I'm from New York. But when you talk to people outside of, New York that didn't grow up in the area and you say New York, they automatically just think you were born and raised in Times Square.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
But for you, where in New York? Well, was it actually New York City? Was it, outside of New York? Where?
Yeah, I grew up in the Northwest Bronx, so like Riverdale, Kingsbridge kind of area.
Yep.
So like a lot of times being just going around the area, even going to like other parts of the Bronx, other parts of Uptown, Washington Heights, like Dykeman, Inwood, all that. That was kind of like my stomping ground. So you just get exposed to a lot of different cultures, a lot of different types of music, and definitely informed me, I think, just trying to make music that could maybe somehow fit into the conversation of all the stuff I was hearing.
Now, where was day one for you? Or like, you know what? I like music. I could do this. I want to turn this into a career. Like what was that like moment for you? Could you remember far back that way?
Yeah. So basically when I was I guess I was about 13, 14, I had been playing the saxophone for a little bit. And then a bunch of my friends went to this music camp that I didn't get to go to because I had to go to like sports camp or something because I was like an
Sleep
athlete
play
and everything.
basketball camp. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so they came back and they all formed a band, and I was really jealous. But then they asked me to be the front man of the band, even though I never sang or played guitar or anything before. So I just started writing all these songs, and I was pretty bad at first, honestly. But we got a little demo together, and then we went to see our friend's band play at CBGB's, and we played the demo for this booker there, and then he booked us at pianos and at CBGB's and at this spot, the Lion's Den, and like a few of these
Iconic places, yeah.
Yeah. So when I was about 15, 16, 17, I was playing all those spots with my high school band, and that definitely got me going. Like, this is what I want to do. I want to try to make a go of this. But
Fake
yeah,
IDs or no?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, CB's was cool because it was 16 plus. That was like one of the only 16 plus venues, so you could always get in there.
So from there, part of a band, playing saxophone, learning how to write the process. Fast forward to today, where it's like you're making this amazing sound. You're compared to your writing from day one. I'm sure you've seen your growth on there too. But for those that aren't familiar, following along for the first time, what would be like your elevator pitch? How to describe you as an artist?
Geez, I guess just a little bit of everything. There's definitely some reggae feel there, but I'd say there's a bit of indie rock, a little bit of kind of electronic indie pop going on. I don't know. I don't really like using indie, but I feel like that's how people describe my stuff a lot.
No, I
Maybe
get,
because it sounds a little
I get
different, you
that.
know?
I mean, at the end of the day, like it's you, like you're the best way to
Yeah,
describe you too. So, but you also have to appeal to people that you want to bring in and introduce your music to for the first time. So if
yeah.
it's like they're not familiar, I get that. I understand it. For you, so there's your music, but what inspires you? Like like you sit down, who could you stream right now and listen to until like your ears, start bleeding because you love it so much?
Right now, an artist who I've just become obsessed with is Thames. I don't know if you know Thames out of Nigeria.
Yep.
She's an amazing singer. It's kind of got like an R&B sort of feel. Definitely got some Afrobeat sort of feel and a little bit of dance hall feel to it. Thames, Georgia Smith out of London. I've just been listening to her nonstop. And obviously, like, Bob Marley is just always one of my biggest influences. Like, I just love that music. So like, I mean,
But it also
I'd
speaks
love to
to
just, yeah.
it speaks a lot
No,
to your music too. Like just what you listen to is also speaks to your sound of like how it literally is, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And
yeah.
it sounds like I'm about to break something down, but no, it's kind of true too. People don't realize, like, even though like I'm not a singer, people watching right now, some may or may not be singers, but you could tell a lot by the type of music that if you were to be a singer, what you would be into based off of what you're listening to.
Right. Yeah,
You
totally.
just happen to be a singer that so
Yeah.
you have one up on us. You have one up on us, DMac. All right. So what we love to do is, we get deep, we're like very Oprah-esque, like
Yeah.
you could cry from this next question. And if it's all right,
Wow.
we love it. We love the
All
views
right.
and the clicks, and we can use it as clickbait. All right. So you and I, we hop in the car driving around. I'm driving because I'm a nice guy. You're in the passenger seat, and we're going to Dunkin, but we're going to pick someone up. We're going to pick up someone up to
Yeah.
go get some lattes with. And I'm going to be the driver. You could hang out with this person. Who would it be? Who would you have a Dunkin' latte with and pick their brain? It could be anyone. An artist, an imaginary person, someone that is a character on a TV show that's not the
Right.
actual actor. Whoever it may be, the choice is yours. Who would you sit that Dunkin' latte with and pick their brain?
Oh man, that's a really tough question, Garrett, because I feel
Of
like there's
course.
so
I know
many
that. Like I
people.
said, I'm Oprah.
Um,
I'm Oprah right now.
so I'm just gonna go with like the first thing that's on my mind, just because I've been reading this book of short stories by this Irish artist, this guy called Blind Boy. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Nope,
This
not at all. See,
dude
I'm
from
learning.
Yeah, this dude from Limerick. He wears a bag over his head. He's totally mental, but he does a podcast. He was in this band called the Rubber Bandits, and it's like really bugged out stuff. But the short stories he writes are incredible. And I was just reading a couple of them right before this podcast. So I guess because my mind is in that space, I'd like to pick up Blind Boy and have a latte with him and just talk about life.
And that's interesting because right before I started too, I was listening to new Adele tracks.
Oh
And I
yeah,
was like, so Adele would be probably so it
that'd be
would be a
your
very
choice.
packed car. It would be a very
Yeah,
weird, strange, unique car right there as we sip on
yeah.
lattes too.
I think that'd
All
be
right.
cool.
So DMac, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn off my camera because I think it'll just be awkward if I'm the only camera watching you as you perform, and
Right.
let you do your thing right now. So before I let you go, let's just review some things. If you want to come back and watch more interviews or interviews just like this, DunkinLatteLounge.com, on the social hashtag Dunkin Latte Lounge. And of course, DMac, hit us up with all the socials to follow along with your story too, and follow your career from the moment we stop this interview.
Yeah, you can find me at DMac_Burns on Instagram and Twitter, and on Facebook. I think it's at DMac Burns Music.
All right. So
Yeah.
DMac, I appreciate the time, man. I'm like I said, time for me to step back because as much as I would appreciate a one-man concert, I'm going to let you do your thing. I don't want to be distracting. Like you do your thing. I don't want to be like making funny faces or I got to scratch my nose and you get distracted and, mess up the whole performance. So
Oh, I understand.
I'll let you do your thing. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you for watching. Remember, hashtag Dunkin Latte Lounge, DunkinLatteLounge.com, and we will see you guys real soon. I leave you now, DMac Burns, and some amazing music.
Thank you, Garrett.
This next song, Burn, is all about just getting outside of your head and thinking about the world in a little bit more of a global way. I gave all my love to you. What did you do with it? Do you still have it? I don't know what I should do. Do I stay savage? Got a bad habit. This song Confusion is it's about being pretty confused, and it's a little bit about hitting rock bottom and what we got to do to bring ourselves back up, how far down we need to go sometimes before we can get back up. it brings me to my knees. Confusion, questions become weed. When I cycles, it brings me to my feet. And I know this is what we need. Whoa, how far below can we go and still breathe? I want more unique skies. I want more fire in my blood. All right, this next song, Crawling, is about a crazy night that I had where I was really losing myself in my mind, and it was pretty weird. So here we go. I'm falling into my mind, and I'm crawling in you. Goofiness runs my thoughts in circles as these lips pass over. Purple bits of pleasure can't be contained. Since laughing cactus juices from your backside, just excuses for some max to be delayed. I'm falling into my mind, and I'm crawling. Texting leads to drinks more than expected. Then my thoughts die buried deep between legs. No notion save me in the morning. Side is wavy, I'm not lazy. One more time to greet the day. I'm falling into my mind, and I'm crawling in you. Shedding my skin, stick the knife in, peel away all the layers, see what's under, flesh and bone. I'm falling into my mind, and I'm crawling in you.
To see more videos like this, check out DunkinLatteLounge.com. And if you're posting on social, use the hashtag Dunkin Latte Lounge.